more workers are feeling stressed about the job market, but the top concern isn't getting a new job, it's keeping the one they already have. Joining us live to talk about layoff anxiety is career expert Laura Gassner Otting. Good morning, Laura. Thanks for joining us.
Hi, it's great to be here.
Yes. Well, what are some actions that workers can take to try to ease some of that anxiety we're talking about?
Okay, so the first thing to do, of course, is to make sure the anxiety is real. We did a survey of about 10,000 people for the last 7 years, and what we found is that less than half of all people actually feel like they have sight lines into the bigger picture of their organization. And, in the absence of stories, we create monsters. So the very first thing, if you're feeling that anxiety, is to make sure you actually understand what's happening in the bigger picture of your company. Start asking some questions. See if you can get some insight into some of the bigger decisions that are being made, because it may be that those anxieties aren't actually reality.
I like that, looking at it like a monster that you got to take care of. Good point. What can workers do to strengthen their network? Maybe they're a little concerned and maybe networking might help them.
Of course, I mean, the best time to build your network is when you don't need your network. So if you're worried about layoffs, or even if you're not, the best thing to do is to start getting active in your, in your business area. If there's membership groups, get active in your community. If there's a cause that you care about in your place of worship, or at your kid's school, start getting active so that you start getting to know people. Because it turns out that most jobs that people find, they find through their own network. When I was in executive search, we used to say that about a third of jobs would come through advertising, a third would come from our actually going out and reaching out to new people, and a third would come from just people who happen to hear about the job, who let you know about it. So getting your network active now before you need it is the most important thing you can do.
Okay. Is it also important for workers to create like a backup plan in case something happens?
Sure, of course. I mean, I always say you should have about 6 months of money in the bank. And the 6 months of money, there's really two numbers to think about. There's the need to make number, like what do you really need to pay your bills, to put food on the table, to send your kids to school? Like what are the things you actually need to have? And then what's the want to make number? And the want to make number is the lifestyle that you'd like to have. And in between those two numbers are a lot of sacrifices. So those definitely have to get 6 months of the want to make number, or need to make number. And if you can, get 6 months of the want to make number also, because then you have to maybe make fewer immediate choices about a new job.
Okay, good to know. Lastly here, where can people go for more information on stuff like this?
Sure, absolutely. Well, so of course they can come find me at lauragassnerotting.com. And there's all sorts of resources on my website about ways that people can think about their career, think about their workplace, so that they can get more invested and more engaged in the work that they're doing.
Okay, Laura, thank you so much for all that insight. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
All right.